wake you up. There we go. All right, friends. So meet me at the back of your mat and then just reach those hands up overhead for me. Hands up overhead. Bring that gaze up towards the ceiling. Take a big inhale. Reach those hands up 1 inch further. And then go ahead and dive your hands all the way down to your mat. I want you to hang there nice and heavy for me. Grab those opposite elbows and just start giving yourself that nice little rock from side to side. Really feeling that stretch in the back of your legs. Release your head. Now go ahead and come back to center. Release your elbows. Slowly start to restack that spine up all the way to the top. One more time here. Reach hands up overhead. Gaze goes up towards that ceiling. And then dive your hands all the way back down towards that mat. Reach, reach, reach. Go ahead and take a big inhale, reaching fingertips 1 inch further right in front of those feet. And then slowly restack that spine all the way up to the top. Hands come behind your head. Hit that good morning stretch for me. So really think about hinging at your hips. As you shoot those hips to the back of that room, your chest will fall towards that mat. Then you'll give me that great big squeeze at the top of your glutes. Take your time here. You're just getting nice and warm. So what I want you to think about as you bring in that chest parallel to the mat, keep elbows nice and wide and just keep shooting those hips to the back of the room. You should feel that nice stretch in the back of your legs, but then give those glutes a great big squeeze at the top. And give me about 10 more seconds right here for 8 and 7. Good. 6 and 5. Don't pull on your necks. 4 and 3. Final 2, give me that last one. Meet me right back up at the top and then bring those hands down to your side. They can come to prayer at the bottom. You're going to step back into that right side lunge together and then that left side lunge, just waking up those legs. You're only here for 30 seconds. Take your time. Do not rush. I'd like that right knee to come back and tap that mat. As you drive through that left heel, you'll stand back up at the top. You're only here for another 15 seconds as we get nice and warm, and then we're going to just get right into it. Big inhale here, big exhale, really thinking to yourself every time that you step that foot back, you're driving through that front heel for me as you step together. Final 5 and 4, good. 3 and 2 on 1. Meet me at the top of your mat, and I want you to grab your weights. We're actually going to get into those arms to start here. So weights are going to come right into your hands. You're going to bring those palms so that they're facing your quads, and then from here I want you to lift up into that front raise and then lower to a hover. So you're not going to let those hands touch your quads, but you're going to bring them right back down and then exhale, lift and squeeze. So stay in that front raise for me. Bring your shoulders down your back. You're going to lower down to that hover, lift and squeeze for me. So we lower those arms down to that hover, lift and squeeze right back to the top. Notice your shoulder stays in line with your hands. What I want you to really think about as we're starting to engage your core here is that every time you exhale to lift those arms, you've got a soft bend in your knees. You contract your abs as you lift up, and then you come right back down to that hover. 15 seconds here. Think about 30-second changes here. 3 changes for me in those arms, and then you'll have that first set of push-ups. 3 changes, second set of push-ups. So we're going to go into those arms and do a couple different changes. Push-ups are how we end each one of those circuits. You're going to leave those hands up at the top in that front raise in 5. In 4, we've got tiny little pulses in 3. Last 2, I want you to lower down one more time, lift those arms up, and now you're just going to drop them down an inch and up an inch, down an inch and up an inch. Think about what's happening in your core. So we're hitting the front of that shoulder right here. Every time you lift up that 1 inch, down an inch and up an inch, think about the contraction happening. Keep that soft bend in your knees. Let arms start to get tired. You're right about at that 15-second mark. So you're going to go for another 15 seconds here. And then we're going to combo those 2 movements. You're going to come down about halfway, and then you're going to give me 3 pulses at the top of your range. I need you to drive that weight into your heels so you can wiggle those toes. Now contract your abs. In 5 seconds, we add it together. In 4, pulse it. 3, beautiful. 2, 1, hold. You're going to come halfway down, lift up. 2, 3, lower, halfway down, lift up. Good. 2, 3, halfway down. We lift it up. Good. 2, 3, halfway down. I want you reaching your arms long and strong. You never let those arms come all the way down to that resting point. Think to yourself, it's that halfway down. 3 pulses right at the top of your range. You're at about that halfway point. I want 15 more seconds. In 15 seconds, you're going to reach those hands down to your feet. You're going to step right foot back, left foot back. You're going to hit your push-ups. 30 seconds in your push-ups. In 5, good. Give me those last couple pulses right at the top of your range. In 3, in 2, arms come down to your side. Dive those hands down to your mat. Set weights to the side. Let them go. Step right foot back, left foot back. That 30 seconds has already started. I want a 2 count down, 2 count up right here. So think about that. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you press to lift. Inhale down on that 2 count. Exhale, press that mat away from you. Every time that you come down towards that floor, I need you to squeeze your shoulder blades, press that chest, those hands into that mat to open up that chest. You've only got 10 seconds. You're going to come into a plank for me. In 9, in 8, good. In 7, you have it. 6 more seconds. 5, get that last push up in. Don't cheat yourself. 3 and 2, press that mat away. Tuck your toes. Now lift into that downward dog for me. Take your time. Start to pedal out those legs. You're going to walk your hands into your feet, feet into your hands. You're going to grab your weights on your way up and roll yourself back to the top. Hands come to that side. Now you go into your side raise. Lower down, exhale, lift and squeeze. So we're going to take our time. We're going to sculpt those shoulders to start before we get into that back and those triceps. So think again, just like you did in that front raise, exhale, lift and squeeze. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze, reaching long and strong, keeping shoulder blades pulling down your back. 15 seconds right here. So remember, you're not rushing. I want you to think about what your core is doing. So as you exhale, it's like you're bracing for someone to come and punch you in that belly. Knees stay soft right here. And every time that you lift those arms up, it's like your shoulders are pulling down your back while arms are reaching up. In 8 seconds, I want you to stay at the top. You're going to give me tiny little pulses right at the top, similar to what you did at that front raise. Now you're in that lateral raise in 3, in 2, down an inch, up an inch. Good, down an inch and up an inch. What I want you to think right here is I don't need you coming above those shoulders. Drop down an inch and up an inch. It's tiny and controlled. As you squeeze that weight, you're thinking, how long and strong can I reach those arms? As you pulse down, think about where you're squeezing. Think about that contraction. Don't forget about your core. 15 seconds right here. We add those two things together. Same in that front raise. Now we're just lateral. You'll feel this a little bit more in the side back of that shoulder. In 5, 4, keep them lifted. 3, arms should get tired here. I know. 2, on 1, you're going to come halfway down. Press 3 and 2. Last one, you come halfway down. I'm okay if it's 3/4 of the way down. I just don't want you resting here. Think to yourself, arms aren't really coming above those shoulders. The second they get to shoulder height is when you drop down in those pulses. I don't want you up here getting into your traps, and then you'll start to pull those shoulders closer to your ears. Take your time right here, 15 seconds to go. You've got it, 15 seconds, and you're gonna come back down into that beautiful plank, right into those push-ups. This time you're gonna give me hand release push-ups in 5, good, 4, final 3, you've got it, in 2, last one right here, weights come down to your side, drive weights down towards your feet, step back into your plank, hand release push-ups, 30 seconds has already started. You're gonna inhale as you come down, exhale, press up. I don't want a 3 count or a 5 count, 2 counts is fine. Think about slow to lower. You are lifting your hands, squeezing your shoulder blades. Don't cheat yourself on that movement. Hands have to come off of that mat. 15 seconds to go. As you're in this hand release push-up, think to yourself, what am I doing with my breath? Exhale as I press up, inhale as I lower. 8 seconds to go right here. 7 and 6, don't let time start to rush you. Take your time, but really think about getting that last little bit in. You're in a plank in 4, you're in a plank in 3, get that last push-up in 2. Now press hands up, tuck toes under, find your plank. Then lift your hips all the way up. You can pedal out those knees if you need to. Last 3 little changes right here. Walk hands in, grab your weights for me. Come right to the top. You're going to start with that front raise. You're going to give me that upside down U into your side raise. So you're in that front and then right into that side. So think about that nice upside down smiley face that you're drawing with those arms. You're going to have this big movement to kick it off. Every time that you circle those arms, don't feel like it has to be that nice L shape. I don't need it to be hard. Soften and just draw that U, like we're like little cheerleaders getting ready to do something right here. Think about as you're sculpting those shoulders out, you're still bracing that core, you're still softening the bend in those knees. You've got 15 seconds left right here. Take your time, but also feel that sense of urgency. Don't let yourself even have a thought, oh my God, my watch just scared me to death. Don't let your watch scare you. But also don't let your body stop here. You are going to reach those arms up nice and long into that T position in 5, 4, good, 3 and 2. Lift into that T, palms face me. Bring yourself into that goalpost position. Squeeze together. Press apart. Good. Squeeze together. Press apart. Finishing out those shoulders. We squeeze and we press right here. Squeeze and we press. We're going to give ourselves that squeeze in. You're going to open up. You're going to give me an overhead press. And then you're going to squeeze back in. Join me when you're ready. You press overhead, pull back down, squeeze parallel, open arms. Finishing out those shoulders. Last little bit in your shoulders right here. You have a full 30 seconds here. You're about 10 seconds into it. I want you to really think to yourself as you're in this movement, when you press up overhead, you pull belly button in, bring those elbows back down, you squeeze to parallel, open back up. In 10 seconds, you're just going into a plank, a forearm plank. I know your shoulders are tired. It's not a push-up, it's a plank. You're gonna walk right down to your forearms in 5, sorry for the up and down, 4, shoulders should be done after this, in 3, in 2, on 1, go ahead and bring arms down to your side. Dive those hands down to your mat. Set your weights down. Walk your right foot back, left foot back. Go into your forearm plank. You're there. 3 and 2, hold. Spread your fingertips out. Here's where I need you to psych yourself up. I know your shoulders are talking to you. Can you zip up that inner thighs, squeeze them together, give me a slight tuck in your tailbone. Think about your belly button. It's pulling up towards that spine. Your shoulders are pulling away from your ears. You're not letting anything collapse. If you feel like you're starting to drop, you can always open up those feet. If not, I really want you to hold on to this. Keep pressing those shoulders away from your ears, keep pressing into the mat. You're already past that halfway point. I need you to really think about how strong you are in your core as you squeeze everything together right here. Do not drop. 20 seconds to go. You're going to stand back up after this. You have it. Take a big inhale here for me. The second you think you need to take that break, just ignore what your mind is telling you. 10 seconds, you're in a high plank. We're getting ready to stand. That's all you have left. So you squeeze a little bit tighter. You breathe a little bit deeper. 5, 4 and 3. Everybody walk up to their hands right here. And 2, walk up to your hands, lift into your downward dog. There's your minute plank. Now start to pedal out those knees and take your time here. I want you to give yourself about 10 seconds to stand. Bending right knee, pressing through that left ankle, and then bending that left knee, pressing through that right. When you're ready, walk feet into your hands, grab your weights on the way up. You're gonna roll yourself to the top. Last little bit of love, we're in our triceps, a little heavy in our arms to start. Now drive those weights down your legs, just like you were going into that good morning, like you're setting yourself up for a row. Palms face each other, pull those elbows in nice and tight. I want you to give me a right side kick back, left side kick back. You're gonna release both arms, pull them back up. So it's a right side kick back, left side kick back. You release both arms. Now squeeze your shoulder blades to give me that row. I want these slow and controlled. Every time you reach, squeeze both elbows, extend right, extend left. Can you start extending them both together here? We extend both arms, we bend those elbows, reach, row, extend, bend, reach, and row. Take your time here, but also think to yourself, as you're breathing here, I need a full extension of those arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades, give me that extension back. You're gonna give me 2 more changes, that's it. So trust your body, you're here for this. You have this movement, a little bit of love in your back and in those triceps. Hold those arms up for me, and now just stay in your kickback. Just stay in your kickback right here. Couple more changes to go. We'll give those arms a break. You're not going back into a plank after this, so trust your body. You have about 15 seconds of kickbacks. I want you to drop weights whenever you need to, but I want you to think about how strong you are in your core and those legs. You have 10, 9, 8, 7. We're going to release those arms in front of us here in 5, in 4, final 3 right here. You've got it. 2, release arms, go into your fly. Squeeze, release. Good. Squeeze, release. Think about right in between your shoulder blades. There's a pencil. You want to break that pencil, squeeze that pencil. Don't let that pencil drop. Every time you exhale, squeeze and release. You've got it. Squeeze and release. Can you hold at the top in 5, in 4? Give me 2 more in 3. Beautiful. 2. On that last one, pulses at the top. Bring elbows back an inch. You got it. Last little bit. 1 hold left. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Pull shoulder blades down your back. Belly button comes in. I want you holding at the top in 5. You're going to squeeze as tight as you can in 4. In 3, everybody find your hinge. 2, lift up, hold. I want you to reach further over than you think you need to. If you're up here, I want you to think about really shooting those hips back. Hold for 5, squeeze shoulder blades for 4. You can do this, pull belly button in for 3, 2, 1, release arms, stand all the way up. You're gonna keep those weights in your hands for me. They're gonna come right down to that side. If you want your arms to have a break, take it. Take a sip of water. We're going into a second position with those weights. Open feet up out to the side. Finally, some leg work. Arms should be tired, but we are arm heavy today, which is like something I never say. I want you to open your feet nice and wide. Heels turned in, toes are turned out. Weights reach down to the side. You're just going to that full range second position, little plie here. I want you to shoot those hips down to the mat, lift up and squeeze. Weights stay in front of you to start. Just keep arms long and strong. Get your second position form under control. Drive the weight into your heels. Toes should be able to wiggle. Every time that those glutes come down towards the mat, you're pressing your hips back. Feel that inner thigh burn. You bring those glutes down to the mat, then you lift up and squeeze. I want you to start adding a front raise back in this movement, So as you come down, you reach arms up, and then you reach arms back down. Good. You reach arms in front of you, you reach arms back down. So think about that second position plie here. I want you to think about starting to really warm up inner thighs. We're just easing into it here. You have 10 seconds left before you hold at the bottom of your range. Arms are still lifting into that front raise as you lower, and they come back down as you stand. You have 5 seconds. Arms are going to reach in front of you. You're going to shoot those glutes down towards that mat. In 3, we stay at the bottom. In 2, now sink down and hold for me. Now, can you glue those weights together? Open up those elbows. Start to pulse. Arms out an inch, legs down an inch. If at any time your arms just really need the break, then I want you to just lower those weights down or bring them into prayer. Ditch them if you need to. Right now, you're giving me a little bend in pressure. You're gonna feel this in shoulders, triceps, and now your inner thighs are talking to you. Heart rate's gonna come up because you're working arms and legs. You're pulsing down an inch. Again, I care more about your legs right here. So if you're on fire on that top half and you need a break, breathe through it. Focus on the burn in your legs. Your elbows come out nice and wide as you pulse out an inch and in an inch. Now, as your glutes fall down towards that mat, think about pressing those legs back. You have 10 more seconds left right here. You've got 9, 8, keep going, 7, 6, keep pressing, 5, 4, perfect, 3 and 2, 1, hold for me. Bring those hands into prayer. Bring those hands into prayer. Lift right heel up, 10 more pulses. 9, keep elbows wide. 8, keep shoulders relaxed. 7 and 6, you're just pulsing with that right heel up for 4, pulse for 3, switch heels in 2, switch heels in 1, left heel lifts, right heel lowers, keep pulsing down right here. Only 2 changes and a hold left. You're gonna find that this series is over so quickly. Give me 8 and 7, final 6, we hold in 5, 4 and 3, freeze for me in 2. Can you lift that right heel up? Both heels lower, both heels lift. Control this. There's no pulse. It's all about the heel lift. Elbows stay wide. You're pressing those weights together, pulling shoulder blades down your back. Both heels lower. Both heels lift for me. You have this. Both heels lower. Both heels are going to lift right back up. 2 changes to go. That's it. In 5, both heels lower and they stay lower. In 4, in 3, beautiful. In 2, on that last one, lower your heels. Bring those arms out to the side. Palms face me. Bring yourself into that goalpost. You squeeze as you stand, open as you lower. Squeeze as you stand, open as you lower. Just pulling some of those movements that you did in your arms, but now your legs should be getting nice and warm. You bring those elbows to parallel. You open up as you sink your booty down towards that mat. All you have is a hold left. This full range movement, just getting everything awake as we get into that next leg series. You have 14 seconds right here, 13, nice. Think squeeze and open. You stay low for me in 6, in 5. You're going to soften those elbows. Arms come up over your head in 3, in 2. Everybody, arms come up overhead. Final hold right here. I want you to think about your legs. Can you press your knees apart any further? Can you sink your seat down 1 inch? You have 15 seconds. I'd love for you to lift right heel And then that left heel, I'm like, there's something imaginary moving that computer around for you, Courtney. I'm like, what's happening with that? Her hands are in the air. Everyone, 5 seconds. If you have anything left in you, you sink a little lower, heels a little higher. 3, 2, 1, rest. Arms come down to that side. Ditch your weights for me, ditch your weights. Yep, they get a tiny little bit of a break. If you have balas and you want to stick them on, take a sip of water. We're gonna stay in those legs. You've got a little bit of a lunge into that deadlift movement here, my favorite series. We're gonna dress it up a little bit today. Right leg is what's gonna move first. If you want your balas on, stick them on. Just like the warm up, you're gonna come into that reverse lunge right into your knee lift. So you're gonna tap right knee down, and then you're gonna lift that right knee right up, and you're gonna squeeze your left glute. Take your time in this movement. 3 changes each side, then we come down to the mat. So you're not here forever. Don't worry about any pulses. Don't worry about any holds. It's big movements for me while you're standing here. You're giving me that right side reverse lunge. You are driving that knee up. Let your lower abs help you. Squeeze your left glute when you're at the top of that range for me. Yep. So think right side lunge. You lift and squeeze, and then you get right back into that lunge. You have 10 seconds to go. We're going to go into that nice single leg deadlift, that reverse of that right leg in about 5 seconds. You've got 4. Let yourself get nice and warm right here. 3 and 2. Meet me at the top on 1. So I want you to bring that right knee up. Hands can either come into prayer, or they're going to reach out in front of you as that right toe reaches to the back of the room. Lift that knee back up. So I want knee to come to hip height every time. Full extension, bend that left knee, and then pull everything right back, and you've got to squeeze your left cheek like your life depends on it. If you need to hold on to that wall, a chair, I'm fine with it. I'd have you holding onto a bar if there was one in those rooms. What I care about right here is your left leg is what I need to burn. Keep a soft bend in your knee. As that right leg comes long and strong, keep your hips square, then drive that knee up, squeeze through your left cheek, relaxing shoulders. You still have 15 seconds here. We put those 2 movements together. There are no pulses. There are no holds. It's all big macro movements till we get down to that floor. Breathe for me. Full extension, full extension. Yes. And then pull it back in. I know that's got to feel good with the bottle on. 5 seconds, and you're going to add it together. I want a reverse lunge, single leg deadlift in 3, in 2. Now step that right foot back. Drive that knee up. Catch yourself here. Full extension. Pull that knee back in. Notice we're not rushing. It's 2 big movements. It's that reverse lunge with a knee lift, and then that single leg deadlift. Your left cheek should be on fire. Your shoulders are getting a break. They're like, where's the weight you've been making me hold for 20 minutes? I need you to get those legs ready to work. That second position should have helped you right here. 15 seconds, that's it. Again, no holds, no pulses. I am going to put you right into that other side without a break. You'll take that sip of water if you need it. You have 8 seconds right here. Don't let the time scare you, but I want you to get 1 more lunge in and 1 more deadlift. In 5 seconds, you meet me at the top. Legs get a little bit of a punch in 3, in 2. Now stand up nice and tall. Give those legs a little bit of a love. Give yourself a little pep talk. Shift the weight into that right leg. Left side reverse lunge right into that knee lift. Remember, you're not on a tightrope. So as you think about where that left foot goes, you're going to walk it out to the side a couple inches. Lift and squeeze. Yes. Your breath is going to come up here. I want your heart rate to start talking to you. You're working hard. Your legs know it. Your abs are working here as you control that reach in that single leg deadlift in a second. So know that we haven't forgotten about them. 15 seconds left in your lunge. Favorite thing, 2 things to put together here. These are my favorite 2. Step back into that left side lunge. Now your right leg is stabilizing. So you're actually on your dominant side. You drive through that right heel as you lift that left knee up, using those lower abs, contracting through that core and that lower body. In 5 seconds, you're going to meet me at the top of that range. Single leg deadlift in 4. Finish out those lunges. Do not cheat yourself. 3, good. 2, lift up, hold. Options for hands to stay in prayer as you reach that leg back and pull it in, or you can extend those arms in front of you and then pull that leg back in. But I need you to squeeze your right cheek like your life depends on it. Keep a soft bend in that right leg. As your left leg extends, pull it in towards your chest, and then take your time and reach it long. How long can you get your body? When you reach your hands, when you reach that leg, your leg should be talking to you right here. You have this. Big inhale, big exhale. You're ready to put it together. 5 seconds, and that combo movement is coming your way in 4. Good. In 3, combo in 2. Let's put it together. You step back into that left side lunge. You drive that knee up, and then you give me that single leg deadlift before you come back to center. It is 2 movements. Do not rush them. If you're half-assing one of them, you're going to lose all the work you're doing in that glute or that hamstring. You drive that knee up, you give me that full extension of your leg, you pull that knee back in, and then you hit that reverse lunge. Now, I went through it really slow. You can go through it a little bit faster than that, but just take your time. 15 seconds, and you're gonna be out of this. We're getting ready to come down to that mat, so I really want you to give yourself all you've got in this last little bit of standing work. You have 30 seconds after this as a little thing, fleshing out that blood, get everything moving in a second, that finisher. In 5 seconds, you meet me at the top of that mat. In 4, 3, one more each side. 2, on 1, meet me at the top of that mat. Take a big inhale, give those legs a little bit of a punch. It's your last standing exercise of the day. Open your feet up, heels turn in, toes are turning out. Start in that just body weight squat for me. We'll add abs in a second. You're just lowering and lifting here. Lower down in that squat and lift. It's a center booty squeeze that I want. From here, I'd like you to rotate your hands so they come behind your head. You're going to tap left elbow to right knee, sink into that squat, right elbow to left. Take your time. If you feel like you're flailing and throwing yourself into a tantrum, ditch that with your squat. You don't have to do it. Lower down, twist and tap, set your foot down, regroup right here. If you just want to stay in that twist for more ab work, just stay in your twist and stay standing. Heart rate should be up. 10 seconds to go, and then we're on the mat for the rest of class in 8, 7, 6, you're there. Squat, lift, twist. 4, 3, 2, and you rest. Woo, nice job. Give those legs a little bit of a punch. Take a sip of water if you need it. Don't just sit on that mat, but go ahead and take those computers for me and set yourself up so that I can see you. You're going to walk to the back of that mat for me. You can leave Balas on if you have them on. Dive those hands all the way down, and then walk yourself into that high plank here for me. Walk yourself down to those forearms and get cozy. Second long plank of the day. You are going to go into some abs after this, but I want you in that plank to start. You've already hit that first little bit of time. What I need you to think about is what you just did earlier when you were doing your arms. Press into that mat. Glue your inner thighs together. Do not drop out of this. You're just about at that halfway point right here. I need 30 more seconds from you. Do not move anything. I know how strong you guys are. I know some of you are like, you know what? I want to lift my leg. I want to seesaw. I don't want you to move. I just want you to think, can I find a squeeze? Can I find a shake right here? Pull those inner thighs together. Now lift your glutes up a hint and then tuck your tailbone under. There it is. There it is. Shoulders are relaxed. That little bit of a lift in your glute and a tuck, you should feel that difference almost immediately. I need 10 seconds and then you're going into a child's pose. It's going to feel good. Child's pose in 8 and 7. Can you press your hands into that mat a little bit harder? Don't you drop. That looks awesome. Beautiful form, Kathleen. You've got 5, 4, ladies, 3, 2, 1, rest. Oh, those minute planks are just the mean. At least it's not 2. Sink your seat back towards your heels. Open your knees up. This will shock a lot of you that I took a yoga class yesterday. It feels like I don't even know what was happening in my mind, but I love listening to her cue a child's pose. But really thinking about pressing your seat back towards your heels. And then as you take that big inhale, it's almost like you're releasing that lower back, pressing knees apart, and then just actively really reaching towards the top of that mat. I want 5 seconds left right here. Take the biggest inhale that you've got. And when you exhale, just let your body relax. Tell your mind you're fine. In 4 seconds, you're going to come onto your bottoms for me. In 3, in 2, come all the way up and then meet me on your bottoms. Now, I had some of you leave Balas on during abs the other day. I think it went into your hip flexors. It's totally up to you if you want to leave them on. I usually say take them off and just let everything happen from your abs, but I know some of you are more advanced. You're going to bring the, I forgot to tell you to bring your weights down. I apologize. Grab your weights for me. I'm sorry if you have to stand back up and put them on each side of your mat. You're going to grab those weights for me. Lay all the way back down, hands come up overhead. Keep your arms long and strong. So it's almost like they're locked out here. Your heels are gonna make sure they're driving into that mat. You're gonna start with your feet a little bit further away so they don't lift. Take a big inhale. Exhale, reach arms up overhead. And then I want a 3 count down, 2 count down, 1. So we exhale, lift, squeeze. 3 counts on the tuck of your tailbone coming down. We're gonna finish with some strong abs right here. So really think to yourself as you're in this movement, if anything happens in your shoulders and it doesn't feel good, you're gonna ditch your weights and you can use body weight. The lift up is with that momentum. The tuck to come down, your tailbone is rolling under, like your belly button, your belt buckle is gonna come to your forehead as you roll all the way back down. So I want a big reach. I know your shoulders are gonna be thinking about you later today. They're gonna be talking to you. And then tuck your tailbone as you come all the way back down. In 10 seconds, you're gonna stay at the top. We're gonna go into some Russian twist, just so you know where you are. You'll glue those weights together, and then we're gonna start to twist. You have 5 seconds. Give me one more big roll all the way up and down, and then you're gonna meet me at the top. Heels come down, toes are gonna lift. Bring those weights together. Now tuck, 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 tuck that tailbone, find that shaky spot. Bring your right elbow to that right side, left to that left. I want these slow. Don't just rep these out. Can you get your elbow to touch that mat as you're twisting? Stay tucked under here. 30 seconds, you're about 10 seconds into it. If the weight is too much or you don't like holding it, ditch the weight, go body weight. I'm just giving you that extra challenge here. Keep your tailbone tucked under. I want you to focus on releasing those shoulder blades. And then you're gonna tuck right side over to that right side. And then you're gonna come over to that left side for me. Really nice work. You lay all the way down in 8 seconds. So keep twisting, keep tucking that tailbone, relaxing those shoulders. 3 seconds and you roll all the way down. In 2 seconds, come back through center. Keep those weights in your hands, lay all the way back down. You're gonna let your feet come long and strong. Weights come up towards that ceiling. If the weights are too much, you ditch them. Take a big inhale, exhale. You're going into those alternating V-ups, but you're reaching your hands towards opposite leg. Again, you ditch the weight if it's too much. Some of you can hang on to that weight and you can even go heavier. If it is too much, I want you to just ditch it. But if you can breathe through this movement, exhale, reach towards opposite ankle, inhale, lower down. You're taking your time, you're using your breath right here. You stay nice and strong for me. You're gonna lower down in 5, 4, good, 3, give me one more, 2 on 1, bring that leg into tabletop, left leg into tabletop, head, neck, and shoulders stay lowered right here. Take a big inhale, now lift them up, extra challenge, turn palms towards one another. You're in your alternating dead bug with the weight. If it's too much, your first modification is to lower head, neck, and shoulders, focus on that reach. If that is still too much, you ditch the weights for me and you go body weight. I want these slow. The dead bug is slow because if you're not using your breath, you're cheating yourself. Inhale as you reach leg and arm. Exhale as you pull it back up. Use that breath. No one is there to even hear it. They don't care how loudly you're breathing. Pull lower back into that mat and trust your body here. Big reach, pull back to center. You're gonna ditch those weights from you. We're headed into bicycles in 5, 4, no break. You take them as you need them here at the end. In 3, in 2, lower head, neck, and shoulders for me. Set weights down to your side. Hands come right behind your head. Lift all the way up, go into those bicycles. Twist, 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 and twist. Can you tap your knee every time, or can you get past that knee? Make these count, make these pretty. I know that bicycles is where you all just like excel. This is your moment. Point through those toes. Show me how pretty you look right here. Everyone makes these look so effortless. 15 seconds to go. Do not stop. Tiny break comes your way in 10. In 9, you have 4 minutes of class. Do not give up right here. 8 and 7, final 6, keep twisting. 5 and 4, you rest. In 3, you rest. In 2, one more tap from everyone. Knees come into your chest. Big inhale. Start to rock from side to side right here. We're gonna go through it one more time. Big inhale. Your feet come flat on your mat. If you want to switch it up, you're welcome to do a straight leg sit up. Weights come back into your hands. I'm going to switch it up and keep my legs straight, flex through those feet. Weights press away. You exhale, lift all the way up. 3, good. 2, The second that your shoulder blades hit that mat, I want you to reach right back all the way up overhead. So you get that nice little bit of love in your shoulders today, but really think about what your abs are doing. We're staying a little bit longer right here at the end. I need a 3 count to come down. I do not care how many of these you get in, because if you tuck your tailbone the way that you know that you can, rolling through that pelvic bone, you're going to get so much warmth in the bottom half of that body. Flex your feet, keep your legs straight. 5 seconds here. I want you to give me one more big lift, and then I want you to roll all the way down in 4, in 3, 2, lift up one last time, feet come in. You're going to bring those palms together. Option for my friends who want the extra challenge, you can lift those legs as you go into your twist. Option to keep your feet down, but I care more about how deep you're twisting from side to side than I do about how many you get in. The further you can work on that twist, pinching that oblique, switching from side to side right here, the more you're going to get out of this. Use your breath. Take that big inhale, contract that belly, pull belly button down towards that spine. You've got this. You're going to lay all the way back down for me in 5, in 4, beautiful, 3, keep twisting, 2, come back through center, lay all the way down, feet come up into that nice tabletop position, lower head, neck, and shoulders for a second, then lift up. This time for your alternating back bed bug, I want you to alternate your legs, but I want you to bring both hands back every time. Reach right arm, left arm, and then one of your legs, look right between them. So both arms reach every time. If you need to, lower head, neck, and shoulders. I know it feels like a Monday when you start thinking about what you're doing. Today in class, they were like, you know, broad jump, slam ball with a burpee, backwards lunge. I'm like, my mind can't do that in an EMOM. I want you to give me 5 more seconds before the weights come down in 4, in 3, final 2, come back to center, set your weights down. Hands come behind your head. I need you to give me those bicycles in 3, in 2, hit your bicycles if you're not there already. Final 30 seconds in your bicycles. You have 1 move left in class. You're out of here. Breathe for me. I had someone on the other day who realized that we just go for our 40 minutes now. She's like, wait, you're gone. And I want to call you and say, like, have a good day, or that was too abrupt for me. So we'll talk you through that last little bit of love in that plank. You have 15 seconds. Do not stop. You better tap those elbows to those knees. Here's that last little bit of work. Do not give up right here at the end. Burn out those abs. Really, definitely full body. Got some love today. Heavier on those arms. Everyone's going to pull knees into your chest in 3, and 2. Pull knees into your chest. Cross your ankles, rock yourself up, bring those feet behind you, find your all 4 position, walk right foot back, left foot back, open up your feet, go right into your shoulder taps. We finish in some plank love today. I need you in those taps, controlling those hips. Do not let them rock from side to side for me. You're there. I need 10 more seconds before you come to those forearms. You have less than 30 seconds left. You're in your forearms in 5, 4, 3, and 2, I should say, on them, not in them. Now, everybody give me that forearm plank hold. Squeeze those legs together as tight as you can. Here's your last little bit of work. 20 seconds, and you're all going to be in a child's pose. I need you to give me that nice little stretch at the end of this. 10 seconds to go. Hang on to it.